How's it, everybody? This is the Erroneous One here with another Kingdom Hearts Union Cross video. This video is intentionally a day late, and I say intentionally because normally several of us, myself included, at times when I'm not being bogged down by classes or anything, we try and do update videos the day they occur. So we talk about the content as it's coming out, and in this case, we didn't get too much. It was a really small notice pack for us all this time. All we got in this particular case was the, well, what was posted initially was just these get a select medal in each pool deal. So this is a new Epic Medal Carnival. This isn't a deal. This is an Epic Medal Carnival. We're back to the EMC. It's going to guarantee one of those seven tier 4 medals up on top that either boost or they buff or they debuff. And of course, what's featured here was the new Keyart of Sora. This is Keyart 6. So this deal introduces the versatile Keyart 6 medal, which raises your power base strength by a whopping 3 tiers for 1 turn. So it is the same as Ursula or the new illustrated Roxas. Only it costs 4 instead of 3 like Ursula does. And same thing to illustrated Roxas also costs 4. This deal also guarantees that you'll get one of the 7 select tier 4 medals in each pool. Each of these 7 select medals has a special attack that either raises 1 or all attribute strength or lowers your enemy's defense. So they're sure to be a big help no matter which you get. Which is true for most players up to a point, depending on how much you've pulled, obviously. It does guarantee one of those tier 4 medals from the selected one. So one of the 7 is for sure guaranteed. You do have of course, you always have the option to potentially get one of the ones not listed there too as well from the entire pool of medals. If you receive the Sora medal from this deal, it'll be 3-dotted, which is nice. That seems to be a common thing for us now, which is great. And it's only going to be 3-dotted if you pull it from this EMC or from the daily deal or small deal during this week period. And of course, you have a chance to get boosted, including 1,000 extra strength and defense. So, again, note this deal does not have a guarantee within X turns aspect. So that kind of sucks about it again too. It's another non-mercy type of medals thing. There he is, Mr. I like the. It's as I'm going to do a combination, because Metalcore calls this guy Mr. Big Head Sora, and Smelly Octopus calls this Smug Sora. So I'm going to call him Mr. Big Head Smug. Or Mr. Smug Big Head. Yeah, there you go. Mr. Smug Big Head. That's going to be his name. It's not Keyart 6. It is Mr. Smug Big Head. He is, again, tier 5. Costs 4, AoE, deals 5 hits, raises power base strength by 3 tiers for 1 turn. So essentially, he is a AoE version of HD Beast, it looks like. Potentially not as strong. I haven't seen him yet. I haven't seen his multiplier just yet. So this is okay. So these medals here aren't too terrible for players who don't have some of these medals or who need a chance to try and get them, or maybe even potentially fill them out. Now, when I first saw this deal, I questioned myself. I was like, this deal has no enticement except for the minuscule chance of pulling that that new Sora medal. So why would you do this? Because, like, honestly enough, when I was doing pulls for Nominate, I pulled every single one of these medals at least once. Every single one of these medals I pulled at least once. So you can get these medals in the Nominate banner. Now, granted, if you're looking for a certain one in particular, a 7 in 1 chance, or a 1 in 7 chance, I'm sorry, a 1 in 7 chance is a far better ratio than the, God, like what, 1 in 30 now? I think we have like, between tier 4 and higher, we have like about 20 or 30 medals that are that particular level right now. So if you need one of these medals in that regard, that was the only thing I could think of, because you increase your chances of pulling them because it's a 1 in 7 chance. But other than that, like, why would you pull this? You have the chance of getting these from the Nominate banner with the chance of actually pulling Nominate, despite the god-awful pull rates. But I saw that, and then I was like, you know what? I want to wait and see what the drop rate for this medal is for Mr. Smug Big Head himself. Like, how often is he getting pulled by people who are pulling from this deal? So I waited a day, and this is, granted, guys, it's only been about 24 hours. I've waited for this one, but from what I've seen, it's not bad. That Sora is coming to a lot of players with much more regularity than Nominate or even Illustrated Roxas is doing in the other banner. So that is an interesting little factoid there. So is it worth, I guess the main goal is this, is it worth it to pull from this deal? For myself, No, it is not. Despite the fact that Mr. Smug Big Head has a better chance of getting pulled, because like I said, his drop ratio does seem to be a lot better, like a substantially higher drop ratio than Nominee or Illustrated Roxas. I have all these medals guilted, and if they're not fully guilted, they're very close to being fully guilted. And the only one I want extra on there would be actually be Mr. Illustrated Ansem, and that's only going to be primarily because I don't have him at a very high guilt, I believe. He's in like the 90s, I want to say, on my guilt roll. Where is he at? There, are you passing by? Did I pass him by already? No, I did not. There's Sora, Behemoth. There he is. Yeah, so I got a 91% guilt roll on him. His traits are damage and raids and strength plus 1,000. So not bad traits on him. Obviously I wanted that extra attack on him, but that'll come in time. He is good as it stands right now. I'm not gonna go pulling just to try and roll him again to get a higher guilt, especially when the potential to roll guilt on him could stay the same in the wasted jewels for that one. Even with the extra chance to try and get that Sora, I mean, it's not worth it to me, so I'm not going to do that. That being said, for other players though, if you are in need of some of those buff or debuff medals, or if you need like one or two more to try and like, you know, either get them to guilt or to maybe potentially re-roll guilt, and it's a good medal for you, pulling from that banner once or twice or so may not be too bad for you. Obviously you know your situation better than I do, as I always state. I don't know what you guys have, what your guys' resources are, you know, how often you're able to reacquire jewels and such. I don't know that. But if you are in need of some of those medals, and those medals will help you change your game to get them the guilt and such, then it might not be a bad idea to pull from that one, because at least you have a fairly decent-ish chance of pulling that Sora medal. And that's not a bad deal on the whole, like I said. And I'm only saying this because I've seen that quite a few people have pulled them, and like within like the first 3 or so, within the first 4 pulls for the most part. I've seen quite a few people have pulled that Sora within the first 4 pulls. For instance, I saw, oh gosh, I'm blanking on her name all of a sudden. I'm sorry. Not Jade Azure, but, Eternia of Light. I'm so sorry. Eternia, I don't think you watch my videos, but I apologize. I actually watched her video the other day, and she did one pull on the banner and pulled that Sora. So that's a thing. In my Discord groups, I have seen some people who have pulled that Sora within the four pulls. Now I'm saying this, they did within the 4 pulls, either on the first pull, second pull, third pull, or fourth pull. But quite a few of them have pulled that Sora within that allotment of pulls. It's not a guarantee that you're going to do that, so don't take me saying that it's going to be a for sure thing, because it's not a for sure thing. But I've seen that kind of ratio going through, which is obviously fairly decent. So you have a fairly good chance of pulling that Sora if you want to do a full pulls from the banner, and in particular if you need any of those buffer or debuffer medals for like Coliseum or raid setups, or just, you know, just general gameplay on the whole, that might not be a bad idea. Now, once again, the flip side to this one, again, too, as there is always going to be a flip side to this. If you go into the shop, this banner has the same time period left that the Nominee banner does, the Falling Price Deal banner does. So, 12 days. We have almost 2 weeks left of this. The question now remains is, next week, well, I don't think we'll get an announcement tomorrow night, but tomorrow night maybe, doubtful, but maybe even on Thursday or the week after that. I'm really guessing the week after that. The potential, not for sure, but the potential of getting a new high score challenge is there. If that happens, what are going to be the percent boosters in this one? It won't be much from the Nominee and Roxas, because like I said, the high score challenges have had the rather nasty habit as of late of ignoring previous medals, because previous medals used to be like, you know, either 10% or 7% boosters in the new high score challenge, which that's gone away, which is disappointing. But will the Sora be in there? Don't know. If there is a new banner, you can guarantee that medals from the new banner will be percent boosters in there, because that's the way they've been doing this as of late. But will Sora be in there? Don't know. It's a possibility that he might be in there, and I say that because if they do choose to do an earlier high score challenge, or maybe we'll get like early-ish. I guess it seemed kind of early compared to the last one just ended a few days ago. But if they do that, then they can use those 7 medals up there as certain percent boosters. What those percentages would be, I don't know. They could just leave them in there as like either 14 or 10% boosters, and have that one Sora be the single 21% booster. I believe they've done that maybe once, I want to say, where we only had one 21% booster. I feel like they have. I can't remember off the top of my head if that's actually accurate or not. I know two's been a for sure thing. Obviously, the last one being Nominee and Illustrator Roxas, but I want to say that we only had a single 21% booster before. And if they do that, then obviously that would be the one to do so. And if that's the case, as with my my reinstated policy for the most part, I'm only going to pull during high score challenges primarily, unless it's going to be a medal like 0.2 Kyrie. I will pull the world for 0.2 Kyrie to get her guilted and ready to go, because she is that amazing. And it's also going to depend upon what the high score challenge medal is. For instance, this falling price deal, I'm not fond of it. Like I said, it's a very cleverly designed illusion, as it were, because as I said in the previous video talking about it, they entice you going like, hey, look, each pull is under 2,000 jewels. That's way cheaper. You can afford a pull from this way more often. But when they dropped the price of the packs, they also dropped the rate at which those tier 5 medals get dropped. Nominee in particular has a horrendously awful drop rate. So that's what they did with that one. To get you to pull more to try and get Nominee, they lowered her drop rate by a substantial amount, which, no good. This one, Sora seems to have a much higher drop rate, which is great, and if those medals end up being high score medals, that'd be good too, but it's not a for sure thing yet. So, me personally, and like I said, back on topic, sorry about that, I wouldn't have pulled as heavily from this banner for that Mickey and Minnie, because I didn't need that Mickey and Minnie guilted. And I did guilt it. I'll show you guys, it was a pretty bad guilt and pretty bad trait rolls on that one. So I need to learn to wait for those high score medals. For whatever reason, high score medals do not like guilting very well for me, primarily, at all, unless there's a guilting campaign. Other than that, I always roll really god-awful rolls on those high score medals. So I need to learn to wait for a guilting campaign on those high score medals, for me. But Mickey and Minnie, I didn't need a gilded copy, honestly enough. I could have pulled a bit from this banner. And even though that the booster medals didn't drop with regularity, because like I said, even the percent boost medals didn't really drop all that often in this banner, which is, again, pretty bad. I could have placed, within, like, I don't know, top, 2,500, top 5,000, whatever, and gotten, like, a copy. Or I could have reached that 8 million score, I'm pretty sure, and kept those 2 copies of Mickey and Minnie and been okay. I would have been fine with that. I didn't actually need that medal doing full tilt damage for the most part. Mainly it was there just to get that defense down, going. So for me, that particular high score medal wasn't a really super sought after medal for me. It was a, we'll see what score I get in this one, and I'll go from there. And if I don't make top 1,000 or anything, or if I can't guilt that particular high score medal, I'm not going to worry about it. There are going to be high score challenges like that. This would have been one that for me, except for Nominee. I really wanted Nominee. I got Nominee. I got her guilted. So I'm pretty good. I feel pretty good about that one. And then in conjunction with getting Nominee, I did get 2 of the boosted Illustrated Roxases. One of them is fully guilted right now. And he's not a bad medal, especially since I managed to roll double cast in that one. So he deals a lot of damage and buffs pretty much fully by himself. So he works really well in a lot of things for me, which I'm thankful for. But I wasn't going for him. He wasn't going to be a huge game-changing medal for me. It was a Nominee that I wanted to get. And it's because I pulled so hard for Nominee that I got the medals I needed in order to score really, really well in the high score challenge. There are going to be high score challenges like that, and then there are going to be ones where I'm going to go pretty hard on them, like, again, Oogie Boogie, Dragon Maleficent, some of the new ones I just saw recently, too. What was it? Was it Vanitas? Was it that Vanitas that was a new one? I think the one was a high score reward medal. Those medals are really, really good, and I'll probably, go for those ones. And then there'll be ones like, Mickey and Minnie that I'm not really going to go too hard for, unless there's like an amazing medal attached to the banner. So, in this case, it was Nominee. Depends on the situation, but that's what I'm going to be doing with that one. Now, back to this one. If this one up here ends up being a high score linked medal, I'm going to pull for it. Depending and how much I pull for it will be dependent upon what the reward medal is for that high score challenge. For instance, I have all 7 of those medals there. I have all of them, either, again, max guilted or very, very close to max guilted, except for the Illustrated Ansem. But I have all those medals ready to go. And if I can get away with just using those medals on my Keyblade setups, I'm going to do that. And I'm not going to pull just to get Mr. Sora there. Depending on the medal, though, if I need that extra 20% or so, if I need like 2 of them potentially to get a higher score, I might do that. It depends on the high score. So that's what I'm going to be doing going forward. And that's something you guys should think about as well going forward. This banner right here, it's enticing, but if you're not going to be able to get those medals gilted, then I really don't think you should pull from this banner. I really don't think you should pull from this banner. If you're one away from gilting one of those 7 medals, and you need it for your setups, like, you know, if having, like, you know, a gilded illustrated Black Coat Mickey is going to help you out a lot for your setups. Illustrated Xion, I still love that medal. She's still a very good medal for me. I do have a very good setup on her. I do have a rate damage plus 40%, and I have a strength up plus 1,000. Obviously, on a medal like her, I do want to roll double cash for Coliseum events and everything, but she has a really good setup on her as of right now. You know, those medals are really good. Illustrated Ansem, again, when he first came out, I didn't really think much of him, and now he's a freaking godsend for Coliseum and, like, certain big raid bosses like Darkseid and such. He's very good. But if you're not going to be able to gilt them, then I would not pull from this banner for the most part. If you want a chance to get an Illustrated Ansem and you need one, you have a 1 in 7 chance of pulling him, and that's not terrible odds, all things considered, like looking at the falling price deal. So you run the risks right there of pulling from it and not getting him, or pulling and you do get him and you'd be lucky for that one if you need him. One copy of him, like I said, you don't need Illustrated Ansem gilded. You just need him there to knock down those 2 tiers of Joan defense, and his job's done. So the other medals in there aren't game-changing amazing ones. I'm sure that we're going to see another one like this that's going to be very, very similar, and we're probably going to see the flip sides of these ones. So, for instance, we might end up seeing, as a casual Roxas, we might end up seeing HD Roxas. Instead of seeing that HD Riku, which, hang on, my bad, there you go. Instead of seeing that HD Riku right there, and that Illustrated Sora, you're probably going to see Illustrated Riku, and you're probably going to see HD Sora there. I'm not too sure what they change out Ansem, SDGA, and Illustrated Xion for. Actually, Illustrated Xion will probably turn into HD Axel. More than likely, I would imagine, anyway. Who knows? That's a possibility for that one, too. But I'm sure we're going to see a mirror to this one. Now, in that mirror, what is going to show up? You know, that's a question, too. We could get that one next week, and then it could be Keyart 6, and then the next feature medal in the next banner could be another medal, and then those could be our 2 21% boosters for the high score challenge. That's a possibility. That would not surprise me at all if they chose to do it that way. So that's things I'm kind of looking for. So, like I said, unless you need, like, Illustrated Ansem, or you're like one away from guilting a Xion or Mickey or any one of those, and they're going to help you, and they're going to help you in your setups, not just to gilt them and get the Nova, which is nice, but if they're not going to help you in your setups, don't pull from this banner. We have 12 days. We have almost a full 2 weeks to choose whether or not to pull from this banner. And the only reason to really pull from it would be if it's linked to a high score challenge. So wait and see what they're going to say. Wait and see if they're going to do anything with the high score challenge, and then decide from there what you're going to do. Save your resources, because other things are going to come out in the future that we're always going to need to save for. And we need to start playing a little smarter. With the way Cena has been going with this game, with this falling price still really disillusioned me quite a bit. Not in terms of, like, playing the game. I still enjoy playing the game, and I'm still going to put time into playing the game and everything. But I'm going to be so much more selective in when and what I pull because of that. This falling price deal was just god-awful. In terms of, like, you know, just what they did with it. Because, like I said, dropping the rate at which, like, you know, Nominee or even Roxas were dropped for most players for pulling this, despite lowering the price, was not good. I can't stress that enough how bad that was. So, that's just my thoughts on this one. And like I said, I wanted to wait a day before I talked about it, because I wanted to see what the pulls are right and everything. Just so I can make a more educational video for all of us, myself included, you know, because I learned the rates that were going on. Rates are dropping are better. That's good. Again, this is something you can skip, though. If it's not going to be linked to a high score challenge, I would highly recommend skipping this banner. Save your resources for other things coming out and later on in the future. So, that's going to be it, guys. That's going to be my take on this one. Later tonight, I might be streaming. It's not a guaranteed thing. I'm going to try and stream. Because I got most of my stuff done yesterday that I was supposed to get done today. So I have a bit more free time to get some things done. Tomorrow will be dedicated to studying for my last 2 finals on Monday. So I'll be busy doing that. So I might stream tonight. Who knows? We'll see. Or I might stream on Monday after my finals. You guys will see Zombie Erroneous One doing a video or streaming, because, you know, finals are over and I'm stressed out, or relieved and stressed out. Who knows? Either way, thank you guys for watching so much, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. You guys have a great day.